Hello, my beautiful loves, and Happy New Year. For many of us, the new year brings a time of reflection and makes us think about the things maybe that have been going well for us and the things that we want to see go a little bit differently, maybe moving forward. The challenge with that is that reflection time usually comes at the end of a time where we have maybe not been living our most disciplined life. In a perfect world, I would go to bed early every night. I would wake with the sunrise. I would exercise. I would meditate. I would read. In a different life stage, there might be a few other activities in there. I would enjoy coffee. I would have a leisurely time getting to work without feeling stressed or rushed. I would eat nutritious foods. I would move through my day with grace. That is not the life I'm leading right now. So if we're not moving in the tracks that we'd like to move in, how do we get from there to where we want to be and do it gently? So let's talk about that. Come with me, friends, and we'll explore. So also in a perfect world, this would be where there'd be like some kind of great intro for my videos where like there's a little shot of me doing yoga in some really great trendy yoga clothes with like rock hard abs, and then maybe, I don't know, in session looking brilliant sitting in my therapy chair, maybe with glasses and a cardigan, and then maybe taking a walk with like birds landing on my shoulders and squirrels gathering at my feet, and then just like throwing out glitter to people. Also not a perfect world. I don't know anyone right now. I know these people have to be out there, but I don't know anyone right now who is living their perfect life. The only thing that I am consistently nailing is the leftover Christmas candy. So let's talk a little bit about how do we get back on track? How do we help ourselves gently move toward the things that we want more of in our lives? We're going to talk about a combination of what's called somatic experiencing, using the sensations and the wisdom in our body to tap into the law of attraction or the law of creation to sort of organically move toward our goals. So what does that mean? In an earlier post on Instagram, I suggested that perhaps it would be good to choose 3 words, 3 ways that we want to feel this coming year. And those are feeling words. So do you want to feel peaceful? Do you want to feel energized? Do you want to feel respected? Do you want to feel cherished? Do you want to feel actualized? Do you want to feel free? Really thinking about what do I want to feel? What do I want to experience in this coming year? The 3 words that I chose were secure, drawing a total blank on the second one. I'll come back to it. Accomplished, that was it. And serene. This is a kind of a regrowth year for me, a rebuilding year for me. There are lots of other things that I would love to feel, and it doesn't mean that those 3 things might not change for me throughout the year, but those are my jumping off point. So I'm going to take one of those to give you an example of how to use something that we want to feel to somatically set our intention. So I'm going to take the first one, secure. And And here's how we walk through that. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to think about a time when we remember feeling that feeling. And here is what is interesting to me about that. So let me back up. First step is to choose how we want to feel. Second is to remember a time when we felt that way. So here's what's interesting to me. When I was thinking about secure, what came to my mind the most was being a really good steward of my resources, being really tuned into where I am financially, making sure that I'm planning well for my child's education, for my retirement, that I am doing a good job with the resources that I have and that I earn. When I began to think about when have I felt the most secure, what came to me was actually a time where I felt really, really strong in my faith. So when we begin to tap into what we actually feel, we may find out that what we think is different than what we feel, which is why it becomes even more important to go with what we feel. Because if we go with what we think, we may not get to what we feel. You with me? All right, so identify what you want to feel. Identify a time when you felt it before. The next step is to remember what that felt like in your body. One second while I set my coffee down before I do something nobody wants to see. Well, actually, it might be entertaining, but it would be a pain in the booty to clean up. So when I think about the feeling of security, what does that feel like in my body? I feel my chest begin to broaden. I feel my shoulders lower. I feel my chin lift slightly and my jaw relax. I feel a strength and a centeredness in my core. My breath comes deeply. And I want to say I feel certain, but saying I feel certain doesn't explain what I feel in my body. It's almost like my shoulder blades are pulling together in the back. Like there's just a firmness to it, a sureness to it. That is what secure feels like in my body. And at the same time, there's a very gentle feeling to it. Like it's not rigid. It's just strong without being rigid. So when I can identify that feeling in my body, and when I can just sit with it, there are things that happen. I begin to lay down or reawaken the neural networks that go with that sensation. I can feel that feeling even when nothing in my life has changed. So I give myself the gift of being able to sit in that feeling. As I sit in that feeling, my body gets more comfortable feeling it, and therefore can be drawn toward it when it is presented to me, and can help create it where there are places for it to be created. I am strengthening the neural networks around that feeling of security. By carrying that energy with me, I am also bringing myself into alignment with other energy that is like. So I bring myself into alignment with people and experiences that also carry that sense of supple strength. When I ask someone, what do you want? When we're talking about goals or what they want in their future, oftentimes they're not able to tell me. You know, that question of what do you want in 5 years? What do you want in 10 years? Those are hard questions to answer. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes we know exactly, or we think we know exactly. But when we think about what we want to feel, that we can come by pretty easily. So when we can focus on that, we begin to naturally draw toward those things that give us that feeling. And again, by following that inner wisdom, we are more likely to find the things that truly give us that feeling. So maybe it's not knowing I have exactly this much for retirement. Maybe it's not knowing there's this much set aside, you know, for my child's education. Those things certainly would be helpful. But maybe what will draw me is leaning more into my faith. Maybe there are relationships to come that will align in that sense of security. All I have to know is what it is I want to feel. And if I spend even a couple of minutes a day just getting back in touch with that feeling, then I have primed that in my body to recognize it when I see it. So I hope this is helpful in terms of shifting the idea of I go from I am coming out of the holidays and chaos and, you know, overeating, undersleeping, overspending, surely somebody makes it through the holidays unscathed. And suddenly trying to like overhaul the whole thing. I hope this offers a more gentle, more organic way to be able to think about what is it that I want in my life? What do I want it to feel like? How do I want to feel in it? That's it for today. I hope that this year is just filled with so many blessings and so much growth for you and yours.